centered within the Contra Costa County. Antioch has endured adverse effects due to the misfortune of the crisis at hand. Retrospectively, Antioch has had the largest number of foreclosure filings in the entire county. As of 2012, there are 483 bank-owned homes out of the 1,795 homes for sale. In addition, the vacancies are rapidly increasing. According to the state superintendent, Jack O'Connell, education has become a scapegoat for California's financial mess, as the governor perpetually attempts to cut billions from the educational budget. Furthermore, the crime rate in Antioch has gotten so bad that a person is a victim to a new crime every 2 hours. Crime has especially increased around the Sycamore neighborhood in comparison to others. And as of November 2011, the unemployment rate has increased to a staggering 10.7%.
Economic crisis did not start on its own, and there are causes for explaining why it all started in the first place. The crisis may have not been started by the war, but the government debt grew, and money that the government did not have was spent. How much was spent is a different story, because millions, trillions, or more money was spent to get the war up and going, and it continues today. The banks also played a big role in the economic crisis by targeting low-income families. The banks targeted low-income families by giving them loans that the bank and the families knew that they would not be able to pay back. Because of this, many banks went under and became bankrupt, while others merely got away, without having to go bankrupt or having to pay consequences. The housing bubble also caused a lot of damage when it burst. When the bubble burst in 2007, it led to high rates of default on subprime mortgages. But more importantly, what led to the housing bubble was the internet bubble. So when someone looks at all of the causes, everything leads back to the banks and the internet bubble bursting.
In order to help the economy, the government, hopefully led by the future president of the 2012 election, should redistribute the wealth of the rich to the poor, similar to how Franklin Delano Roosevelt dealt with the Great Depression. For instance, he started with the widening of the job market, creating large building projects, and increasing the national job market. In addition, he provided with relief to millions of homeowners and farmers by expanding the Federal Trade Commission. If another program could be created, it would vastly increase the living conditions of those still suffering. An increase on taxes needs to be initiated, taking the top 1% of the nation, since the claimed CEO of Microsoft, Bill Gates, has more wealth than the bottom 45% of Americans combined. Healthcare should be free, as it is in other countries like Canada or continents like Australia, where the government takes care of each individual to ensure that they receive the best quality of life. According to Hari John, if we have to revive the economy in all fronts, entrepreneurial, industrial, and financial, it is necessary to return back to the ideas of Mahatma Gandhi and Swadeshi. Swadeshi said that it's to manufacture ourselves from our own resources, everything and anything that is possible for us, instead of outsourcing from abroad, which only creates employment opportunities everywhere else and helps other economies. Reopening closed units and setting up our own manufacturing facilities that will create more local employment opportunities, increase the buying power of the consumer, which puts money back into the consumer's pocket, who in turn will help to build a strong, healthy economy, and all of us can thrive and prosper collectively.
It is imperative that the national government implements a regulation that prohibits mortgage companies from issuing commissions upon securing a successful deal. This was one of the fundamental issues that caused greed to spread like a wild conflagration in a dry wooded forest. Mortgage salesmen did not care whom they ripped off as long as they received their reward, ultimately conditioning and condoning unrighteous behavior. In addition, a monetary policy should be implemented as well. This policy includes decreasing the interest rates of mortgages. A low interest rate would spur individuals capable but afraid to buy the surplus of property, which then lead to closures of companies and businesses due to unpaid loans and high debt due to the interest rates inflation, ultimately aiding the economy in the long run with a low interest rate. To change this, we need the change of monetary policy.
I lose every benefit of all that I've accomplished if my kids never win at shit. Me knowing this, why should the verses I've laid be more important to me than the persons I've raised? I guess I'm saying that to say the opportunities today just don't equate to all the time it take away from the kids. All the shit I did right, some mistake of Deja end up a stripper and major slanging yay. How could I ever consider myself a great if Messiah ain't paid and neat ain't straight? Would your favorite song about the whips, money and shit be relevant if you found out the money wasn't rich? Nope. So me being the GOAT shouldn't mean more to me to see it to a king go from a bad ass kid to a man with some dough. Otherwise I may as well have stayed pro. So why they stay focused on me beefing with Flip or shouting low? Gucci or Ludacris if I'm fucking with a hoe. Did I snitch when I got arrested or will I die over nonsense? Internally I'm dealing with this conflict. So excuse me if I don't get the chance to kiss the hand to slap me in the face. Hey, I'm just a man. If they saying I ain't the best at making hit records just cause this is my life, these ain't just rap. Bet you ain't think it all live with that deep, did you, dog? See, you can't see the castle for the walls till it falls. Bet you ain't thinking with that deep, did you, dog?
Will regulation, healthcare reforms prevent the Antioch community from suffering? It is hard to tell since the world has been in a recession for a couple of years now. Everything that the community used to enjoy is now seen as a hassle or too expensive.
What you're facing, please don't be alarmed. If you need me, just call me. You're never alone.
What the world needs is hope, to keep fighting and not give up when times are rough. The community needs encouragement, not broken promises of change. Action first, promises later. Our nation needs jobs and better tuition. We may be the 99%, but we are not letting this label stop us. Legislation has the power to make a difference in everyone's life. Since the average American family brings home substantially less than $36,000.
I'm not walking away, not talking, just to say your pain's my pain and your gain's my gain. My heart, your heart, my love,
Hardly enough to make a true living.
So, is the economy going to improve or will it collapse like the notorious dynasties? Now is the time to act.